Welcome to the Real News Network. I'm Jessel Noor. We're here at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, where dozens of students have gathered to protest Trump's Muslim ban.
Many of those who are directly affected by the executive order have declined on speaking because of fear for their safety. However, we still hope that these members of our community will step forward during the open mic session, as their stories are valid and crucial for our discussion. I believe that there's a common belief in humanity that kind of unites us all, and that the only way to really initiate change is to not rely on governments, but to rely on ourselves and the power of the people.
Those are people who have come here from the 7 nations affected from Syria, who come here for the dream of attaining an education, of attaining a future. However, because of this recent executive action and a lot of other policies that are being put into place, that dream is being denied, and I don't want to see that dream die.
I think that America has become kind of complacent with the status quo. We believe that our ideals are safe, that the American dream will be upheld, and so this election and this current administration is kind of a wake-up call that activism should have been something that should have been at the forefront even before the Trump administration. Even though it was not. I think now more than ever people are taking action and protesting.
And we filed a lawsuit on Tuesday, and it followed a number of other states that have filed, or organizations that have filed lawsuits around the country. But these are all short-term rulings that can disappear. And so we thought it was very important to have a new lawsuit that would make some of the same points, but also others. So what I didn't say just now is that we not only are relying on the constitutional guarantees and the people who are being discriminated against because of those constitutional guarantees, but we are also representing in our lawsuit a number of individuals who are desperate to be rejoined with their families, but either can't get out, and they can get out, but then they fear that they can't get back in, or the families are afraid to try to come. And so that's, I think, maybe unique to this lawsuit, and a very important thing, and I was happy to hear that expressed today. Well, it's been pretty clear. I think we've seen already the people taking to the streets and to the airports and to places all over the country where there's a public spirit that opposes this unconstitutional behavior on the behalf of the president. That's made a huge difference, I'm convinced, that we're all standing together. And as I said just a minute ago, I think that judges read newspapers, and I think they can't help but see that there's a lot of citizen support for this. Now, they're not popularly elected. Most of the federal court judges are appointed, but nevertheless, I think it's important for them to see people take to the streets in a peaceful way, take to the streets and take to the rallies like this, and impress upon those of us who live in the U.S. that it's very, very important.
There's an attack on the Muslim community right now that I think everybody needs to address. I think it should not be their fight. I think it should be everybody's fight. We watch, people watch as black people die in this country, and then, we continue to watch transgender black people, gay, die, and until we start standing together, it's not going to go away. So I'm here because I believe that it's important for all of us to fight with each other around human beings, and not just around our own particular issues, but we need to fight. Where tyranny exists, we need to fight and make sure that tyranny goes away. So I'm here for that. I'm here to represent. I'm here because people deserve to have rights. They deserve to have human rights that they don't have right now. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned that if this continues, that more and more of it will happen. That something like this, I think, will lead to at least the potential for things like internment camps to happen, or things that happen after the Patriot Act went into effect, where people were getting locked up or put on lists because they were fit into a certain group. And I think it's ridiculous for the rest of us to stand around and wait until that happens. We got to jump on these things before they get a whole bunch of steam. If they get a whole bunch of steam, then it makes it much more difficult to stop these things once they get started.